Hello and welcome to Tragic Thespians and Theatre Thoughts podcast collaboration.
Hello.
Justin Clarke. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Now, I like to describe this as the Marvel Universe of podcasts. The three of us all together. So how we're going to stop talking when you put three podcasters in a room? Who knows?
Who knows?
We won't. It'll be stop talking by death. I think
exactly.
is how it'll end up going,
Mass
probably.
hysteria. Absolutely. That's the way to go. Now, please, we're going to talk more about your podcast.
Okay, perfect.
What was the beautiful inspiration behind it? I might be a bit biased, but I love Justin's podcast. It is amazing.
Yeah.
And I love listening to it and wondering, why didn't I ask those questions?
Yeah.
I go, why? Why not me?
Yeah.
So, Justin, please, what was the inspiration behind it? I know you've got a blog. I know you managed two of them.
Yes.
What came first, chicken or the egg?
It was the blog. Blog came first because I was overseas in the UK.
Wow.
Doing like my teaching degree and all that over there. Well, not my degree. I was actually teaching.
Oh, okay.
I was out in Essex.
Nice.
So I was an Essex lad.
Yeah.
And basically, I was just like going to the West End all the time,
Yeah.
just seeing every single show I could. I think I saw like Book of Mormon like 5 times when I was over there.
Amazing.
Oh, wow.
Just like from different instances, like lottery tickets and
Yeah.
and then I was just like writing stuff for like people back home, essentially. Just like, this is what I think about like this West End show, because
Wow.
you're not going to see it
Yeah,
unless
yeah,
you go
yeah.
over here. Like, and then I came back home and I signed up with Theatre People before it became
Yeah.
Theatre Matters.
Yeah.
And my first feature I did for them was for Hugh Jackman, actually. His tour.
Wow.
What he did out here in Carla Seattle. Oh, how do you say her name? She was in Greatest Showman.
You would know.
Yeah. I don't know how to say it.
You watch that show every night.
No, yeah, but I don't know how to say her name. I feel bad for that, but like I don't know how to say her name.
We'll insert her name.
Yeah, insert. Just voice over the top.
We're videoing, so we'll have subtitles.
Yeah, excellent. So it was for his tour, and then essentially I just worked my way into them to do theatre reviews, and then I was like, I just want to do this myself, and so I just kind of reached out to a lot of publicists, and then they started asking me, and then I took that up, and then COVID happened with all that fun stuff.
Sure.
And then essentially towards the end, I was like, podcasting's a big thing. Why not just add a podcast? Because I need something to make me stand out. Because there's obviously like Aussie theatre, Theatre Matters, all the types of ones.
Yeah.
I was like, who's going to listen to me? I'm just like a small time one man. And then I was like, podcasting, there you go. That's something different. And I started doing it with my friend Daniel, and I was like, is it going to be like a back and forth, like we're going to chat about our favourite shows? But then we just couldn't line up times. So then I reached out to publicists and was like, do you have anyone want to come on board and have a chat? And it kind of just went from there. Yeah.
Far out. So did you do, at that point, were you kind of like, I'm assuming all this happened while you were in Essex kind of teaching and stuff, or did you come back to Australia and gone like, oh,
yeah,
podcasting, that's cool.
Yeah.
So then did you dive in and do like a research into like how saturated the market was for this kind of stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So I did like all this research on like what podcasting is.
Yeah,
as
right.
simple as like putting a phone down and just talking.
Sure.
And I like listened to podcasts. There's a lot of markets out there on how to make podcasts.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of like research on that. And then tried to like think about how to structure it and all these different things. Like, I mean, you guys would know like when you're starting yours. So I did a lot of research for kind of jumping in because I was very aware that, theatre itself is like a bit of a niche.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to make like my own sort of style to it. I
Yeah,
guess.
right.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
cool.
I listened back to like my first ones just for like comparison. I go,
Oh, is that what I did? Oh, no.
terrible.
Oh my goodness, I agree. I cannot listen to any more of the old ones. To all those saying they're still holding up, you're lying.
Yeah.
I
Don't
know.
lie to me.
They don't. Don't lie to me. They don't. Trust me, they don't.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's so good. And do you often get like we were talking a lot about this with Grant, our previous guest, about theatre and how, there is a perception. A lot of people do think it's non-existent or that it's dying, which it very much isn't.
No.
Otherwise, tickets would be cheaper.
Exactly.
But no, that is not the case. And do you get often people from like shows like from TV or from film and asking about like reviews about those, and have you considered it?
I actually want to. I want to do that.
Oh, cool.
Amazing.
Because like I said, like I know theatre is such a niche, and I feel like I've spoken to a lot of amazing actors in theatre and getting their perspective, because I've realised that I need to lean into like my name is like Theatre Thoughts.
Yeah, right.
And a lot of it's just talking about their shows and that, but I kind of want to branch out into living up to the name of it. So I've been asking them a lot of questions about the state of theatre, and then I've thought like, how can I expand? Because I'm always thinking, because that's just who I am. I just go, what's the next thing? What's the next thing?
Sure.
So yeah, I think TV and film would definitely be the next step for me, especially because I love film. I'm a big film buff. You know. I could talk about film for days.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm definitely interested in talking to that. I did my first film review this year, which was for, again, Hugh Jackman. He seems to be recurring. For me, The Sun. He was his film, The Sun. For me, I cried at the end of it because it was very triggering for me personally. It had a lot to do with like mental health.
Right.
So I was like really upset at the end of it, but I could see why it was so divisive.
Sure.
And the one that was like the Spirit sister film was The Father with Anthony Hopkins.
Right.
So it was like the sequel, but not really a sequel to that.
Sure.
Similar. And it wasn't as good as that, but like I said, it would just hit me on a very personal note, I think. So, so I feel like I definitely love to talk about, things like that moving forward.
Absolutely, and there's no reason why your name would change that at all. Like,
no, I've been thinking, like, how can I do, like, Theatre Thoughts podcast, movie theatre? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can do Theatre Thoughts Plus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Theatre Thoughts Plus.
Don't steal it.
It is copyright.
Yeah. As we're, we just copyrighted it. Yeah. You're all good. You can use it.
We'll get a SWAT team and anyone takes it.
Through the window.
Because I like, this is, apart from my day job, like this is all I do with my life. It's just podcasts and theatre, and I'm always just like, how can I move forward? What's the next thing? You know, and how can I just get bigger and bigger and bigger?
Yeah.
It's very draining.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Sounds it.
Yeah, if I'm not doing it, I'm dreaming it.
Exactly.
You live and breathe it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I have like an epiphany in the car, and I quickly like voice note someone like, "Oh, would you be open to doing this?"
Yeah,
I'll come back to it.
Like you call out for Siri, like, "Hey Siri, do a voice memo. This idea is really good. So the way it works," and then you're explaining to Siri the idea, like, but make that note kind of so that I can come back to it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I do that so much, and then I'll go back to it later, and I'll be like, I'll go back to it like months down the track, like later, and then I'll be like, oh shit, what was that idea? And then I look at it. Honest to God, it just sounds like a fucking old person rambling, like. And then because it was really funny, this is actually the part. This is kind of where the audience is going to really like it, I think, because and it's just that for like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it just ends with like, okay, stop now. I'm at work. Okay, stop. End the thing. You fucking. And then it just ends. Yeah.
That's absolutely right. How many notes do you have, Justin, on your phone where you can't even understand?
Like so many just rambles. And I'm like, who are you?
I'm like,
get meds. Why don't do this? What's going on?
I found a really bizarre one. I've got to find that the other day, and I was like, did I write this or did someone steal my phone? I don't remember. Anyways, my brain's not my own. Now, you do have a Patreon. Tell us about your Patreon. I've been seeing it all over. And I would love everyone at home to get on board with it.
So, my Patreon, I actually got inspired by the Auntie Donna podcast because I love
sick.
Love Auntie Donna.
Yeah.
So much. Love him so much. And I very frequently get into arguments with my best mate because he doesn't find them funny.
Oh my God.
And I go,
wow.
Well, you're fucking wrong. First of all.
That's true.
First of all, it's not a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
They are our national treasures.
I love them so much. I refer to them, or I compare them to Monty Python in their
episodes. I do the same thing. Yeah.
They are like Australia's Monty Python, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous. It's like some of it's garbage, but it's good garbage.
Yeah, like it's good.
Yeah. Easy to laugh at. You don't have to have a reason to laugh. It's just funny. And we saw them live one time, and
lucky.
Ryan nearly got into a fight.
No.
No, it was we went to see their they did
the Dead Cat tour.
No, it wasn't the Dead Cat tour. It was before. It was just after they'd done it was the album tour.
Oh, the album. Okay.
Yeah. And there was someone I think it was Mark was doing something. Oh, fuck. If they ever hear this podcast, then I feel like he might remember it because he got mad on stage. I felt so guilty. Anyway, he was like, hey, there was some part on the song where Mark was like, so what do we do here, guys? What is it? What are we going to do? And he's doing his like typical thing, right? Yeah, that's like the hip thing, right? He's doing that. And then I was just trying to, I don't add something to, I don't know. I was just like, tell us what it is. And then he was like, hey, and then got mad and was like, no, I will do it when I'm ready.
Oh, no.
But I had said like, oh, no, it was, hey, don't do that. And pointed to my friend. So my friend's like, wait, what? And then Mark's just like ripping him a new one. Like, not that bad. But he was like, leave us alone. It was like getting in his face. And I was like, and then just kind of like went into like the crowd and kind of like disappeared. And meanwhile, my mate is just like, where's Ryan? And Ryan's at like the front of the thing, like, I like this song.
My brother saw their recent tour, and apparently there was a bloke when they did the Noughts and Crosses sketch that was also on.
Oh yeah,
Cafe.
yeah.
And they were people didn't get that it was meant to be. They didn't know how to play it. So this one guy came down the front and he's like, "That's not how you play Noughts and Crosses." They're like, "We fucking know. It's a sketch."
Did Broden say something? Because that sounds like sounds like something Broden would say.
Like,
it's part of the fucking sketch.
Oh, Broden.
That's a great Broden.
That is a very good Broden Kelly. Yeah.
I love him.
But where would I go with that? Oh yeah, Patreon.
Patreon. Yes. Please.
So because I have the Auntie Donna like club and their Patreon.
Yeah.
And I'm always, because obviously you guys know it's hard to get sponsors and everything for podcasts and to make money off it or some way to support it or do extra things.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll start filming all my episodes. My friend Marty's my producer at Kidna Audio. A little plug.
Oh wow. Did you say Kidna Audio?
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of them. They're really, they're kind of getting momentum as well.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
Really cool.
He does a lot of audiobooks.
Yeah.
So we were friends in uni.
Yeah, right.
Essentially, he's got a space at the Powerhouse with FBI that he uses for his studio there.
Wow.
So essentially, we kind of work together and collaborate on recording some with his booth. Which is really great. So I'm really thankful for that. And so we've been filming a lot of stuff. And then I was like, well, I can do full videos that I can release online, early access to episodes. And then I found recently on Patreon, you can get, after a certain amount of time, they send merch to people. And it's really simple.
Oh.
Yeah. So you can either do like one a month or something, or after 3 payments, their 3 payments equals up to 1 piece of merch. And I was like, I like that. I'm going to use it. Yeah. So you can support us for $3 a month, which is just simple, supporting page. Or you can become what I call an investor, which is early access to episodes, full length videos. I've set up on our website a Patreon page with a password. So everyone has their password. They can log in and watch the full videos. Yeah. And then basically the super fan is $10 a month. Investors $5 a month. Superfans $10 a month, and that's like the merch, access to episodes, shout outs, like everything essentially.
Wow.
So if anyone would love to sign up, I'm more than happy to have you on Little Community.
We endorse it too, so sign up because it sounds like I can't see. I was looking at that thinking that I was going to be like, hello, it's right. No, it's not me. But full on for real, because like for podcasting and like I consider podcasting part of and I don't like fucking saying it, but like the independent art sector.
It really is. The
really,
amount of time
really
I
is.
spend at my computer, sitting down, editing my audio, and then doing my video, I spend most weekends doing it.
Yeah.
So it comes to that point where like it's such a slog that I go, I have to make some sort of funding off it to keep this viable, because otherwise, if you get tired, you get burnt out, and then you go, what's it all for in the end? If you're not, I mean, the audiences are great. I'm loving that everyone's loving the podcast, but you got to make it like some sort of investment for your time, essentially, because that's just the nature of it. So that I'm just always finding like little ways to make a community and then also support the podcast at the same time.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
That's really cool. I like what you're doing with like reviews and stuff like that. I've been kind of mulling around ideas for us to do something similar with like Tragic Thespians, but like,
am I going to call it Theatre Thoughts
Podcast? We'll call it Theatre Thoughts, and the pictures will be photoshopped to look similar to you.
Us photoshopped
But
on your
not
body.
exactly. Yeah, it'll be like the home brand Justin.
Yeah,
like
that's
home brand theater thoughts.
Yeah,
and
order
it'll
off
be
Wish.
order off Wish. Yeah. And it'll be us talking about things, but we're just not right on the spot. Like you'll be more on the point, but we'll just kind of like be a little bit off. No, but like it's a really good idea because like it's so I feel like it's easy to get people that review things to come to shows. It's because you buy a ticket, or if the theater company that's doing it or the production that's doing it like a kind of cool, and they'll go, oh well, kick on a ticket for you so you can come watch it or something like that. That's fun, but then it also it raises awareness for the entire art sector, the independent art sector. It raises awareness for it, and like. I don't know, man. We shouldn't have to struggle as hard as we do to get this kind of stuff out there.
Yeah, definitely.
For anyone who's like politics heavy,
They're not listening.
They're not listening. They are not listening, which is why I can say this.
Yeah.
I read an article like I feel like it was maybe before Christmas, like just before Christmas, and the article said that the arts industry. So this is. If films and TV shows, if Stan's doing something, an original series and it films here, or plays, podcasts, like all that kind of stuff, in total generated just over like $4.8 billion of income for Australia as a country.
Wow.
And like, I read that and I was like, why the fuck do we have to struggle so hard? Like, it's not like the payoff is like, hey, Anthony Albanese, come see our show. We'll give you a free ticket.
We know you love it.
We've
seen
you there.
That's
Come
right.
down, man. Chug a beer at KXT and other places.
He was at Belvoir Street. Probably, I think
Was he
last
really?
year before he was Prime Minister, he was at
that's
Belvoir
so cool.
Street seeing a play. So I was like, that's promising.
Yeah.
That's promising to me. I like
It's good
that.
to see that. I like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ryan, when he did a show at Belvoir, who did you see? You saw Andrew Garfield.
Get out.
Yeah.
For real? Okay, this is going to blow. I
I
can't
was
believe.
jealous.
If I'm being completely honest,
Yeah.
I can't believe I don't tell this story more.
I know. You
If I'm
literally
being
don't.
completely
That's
honest, okay?
insane.
We were doing our show, The Last Days of Judas Iscariot, at Belvoir Street.
Yeah.
And I really hope we can put that on again. I really want to fucking put that on again because it was a great show to do. I don't know if it has a market for it. Anyway, the story is we were rehearsing at 25A.
Not 25A, downstairs Belvoir.
Isn't that what I
Downstairs.
said? Oh, downstairs, sorry.
Which is where 25A
Which is where
do
25A is,
perform.
downstairs Belvoir. Yeah. We were doing our show. I can't remember what the show was that was playing upstairs. I really can't remember it, and I'm so pissed off that I can't. I kid you not.
I think it was when the blind,
Everyone's like, oh my God. Andrew, what'd you say?
I think it was when the blind giant dancing.
Yeah, it was that one. Blind Giant Dancing. Yeah. Anyway, so this should give it away. Hacksaw Ridge was filming in Sydney.
Ah, okay.
So
Makes sense.
Belvoir Street, where they're rehearsing, we're kind of like, oh man, someone comes in and goes like, actually, no one really said anything because it's a theater full of actors or whatever, so no one really gives. They're all like, oh hey, you're in the industry too. I am too, but just a bit far away from where you are.
Yeah.
But who we like, I kid you not, it was so weird. I really can't believe I don't tell the story more. Mel Gibson was there. Vince Vaughn was there.
Oh, cool.
And Andrew Garfield was there going to watch a play.
Fuck. Okay.
When I tell you that I saw the three of them and I was like shitting myself because I thought it was a dream, I was like, no, yeah, but you're in America right now, surely. Like, it just had this weird thing of like, surely you're not here.
Yeah.
You're over there kind of thing. Like,
but more so for me, like, I would expect that at like STC.
Yeah,
Or the
not
Capitol.
Belvoir.
But Belvoir, like, yeah, that's massive.
That's like a really, really big thing. Because
Yeah.
it's not like, it's not STC. It's not the capital. It's not the state.
Yeah.
Their mate's not doing a show over at whatever theatre.
Yeah.
It's Belvoir to see Blind Giant dancing.
That's great.
And then our mate was like, should we get him to come to our play? And we're like, no, if they're here, they're probably on a filming schedule. Let's not fuck with that.
Yeah.
Let's just leave him go. And he was like, yep, no, well, let's just see. So he got like a pamphlet and went over and was like, hey, we're doing a show downstairs. It's a kind of like our graduating show. It's called Last Days of Judas Iscariot. There's another play that our cohort is doing called The Slut Play. Come if you want. And Mel Gibson was like, huh, yeah, okay. And we were like,
That's classic.
and
Mel,
then
right?
classic Mel. Well, I call him ME because really we're close now. Actually, no, but it was so funny. The three of them were like, Mel was like, "Oh, yeah, bloody hell, that's great, thanks, man." And then like Andrew Garfield was like, "Oh, that's really." So
really cool,
I'm not
you.
doing a thing, but like, yeah, it was just so funny that they were there and they were like, "Yeah, thank you, we'll come see it." Well, I don't know if they did, but like
mine's not as big as that. But when I went to see Into the Woods recently, I was like just sitting there. I know I always get like 2 tickets. I try to bring someone, but I couldn't on this occasion, so I had a spare seat next to me. And this guy walks past and he goes, "Oh, is that where I'm sitting, mate?" And I look up and it's Tim Minchin. And I just go,
whoa!
And I'm just, for me, that's just like...
That's massive!
And I go, "Well, you mean you can sit there if you want to."
Yeah.
And then he looks at his ticket, looks at my seat, and then looks at the end of the row. He goes, "Oh, I actually think I'm down there." I go, "Oh, well, you can walk past all these people if you want, or just sit here. I mean, I don't mind either way." And he goes, "Oh, it's probably a better view from over there." I went, "Yeah, it is." All right,
Yeah.
And I was like, this close.
Oh my goodness, that's like we had Lawrence Ola on this show, and he was in, is it Upside Down?
Upside Down. Yeah.
Did?
The show with the girl from
I love that.
House of the Dragon as well.
Yeah, and I
love that show.
So good.
I was obsessed when he said Tim Minchin. He was doing a show with this American actor, which I don't even think we can announce it yet.
I don't think we could say anything.
You know. All right. Just so I don't get sued.
It's probably barely on the editing floor. So
okay,
like,
yeah, but anyways, think of an American actor that was in Australia within the past 6 months.
Okay. All right, but don't give it away too much. We don't want to get sued. We're still looking for sponsors. What are you talking about? We don't want to get we have no money to give.
No, but so I was like more obsessed with the fact that he worked with Tim Minchin.
Yeah.
I can never pronounce anyone's name right. But because I want to unpick his brain. It's so clever.
Yeah. So clever.
So you've had some really amazing guests in the past, and you're very articulate. You asked the best questions ever, if I do say so myself. What would you say would be, I suppose, the episode that you just didn't expect to hit you as hard as you thought it would?
It's a very good question, actually. When I had Mel and Sam on recently, they were amazing. They were so funny and smart, and Mel especially. When I started asking the question, we're asking a lot of my guests about the changing landscape of theatre. She just had the best answer about people who were gender diverse or people in like larger bodies, and she was talking about her and Milo Hartill in Fangirls, and it was just so passionate, but not like didactic either. So it was just very heartfelt. And I sat there and I was just like, I was kind of speechless afterwards. I was like, oh fuck, I gotta get talking. That's right, it's a podcast. And then Sam like chimed in on a lot of her thoughts as well, coming from like a different kind of perspective, not like musical theatre, but just a different theatre and music perspective. And I was just like, that's when I knew that's the question I need to have in every episode. Because what I found is everyone's had a different response to it. In the recent episode, Vidya Macon, I had in to talk about the Lucky Country. Again, same thing. So articulate and just knows exactly what she wants to say. They've got a strong opinion, which is not a wrong opinion either. You know? And
just different.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I feel like those two have stood out to me, apart from maybe the first episode of season 2 was Sharon Millerchip.
Oh, wow.
So special to me because Beauty and the Beast was the first theatre production I remember seeing.
Wow.
And she was Belle.
Wow.
And I had to bring it up, even though she didn't like me talking about it. I could tell she was like, oh, it makes me feel old. And I was like, no, don't feel that. I just needed to say you were the first thing I remember of theatre, and now I'm here talking to you. So that was just like a full circle thing for me, and I absolutely loved it. And then when I saw her at Belvoir a couple of weeks later, it was like, oh, hey, Sharon. Like,
hey.
We're now friends.
Shaz, as I call you frequently. Am I right?
So that was very special to me, definitely.
Absolutely.
So then, sorry, speaking of full circle then, if someone was to ask you that question, what's your answer to that?
Well, I know I'm very aware. I've become very aware as the podcast has developed that it's not about me. I'm very aware that I'm just like a straight white guy, with a podcast. So I was just like, I'm not anyone special. So as the podcast has gone on, it's not been so much about, hi, I'm Justin and this is who I'm talking to today. And, all about me. It's been about the guests I bring on. And I have to admit, when I first got into like theatre reviewing, it was just to see the big theatre shows because, you know, when you're a young theatre guy and you get free tickets to go to a show, you just get to do a bit of a write-up about it. It's great.
Yeah.
And then I've discovered how strong the independent sector is.
Yeah, right.
So I guess for me personally, I'm responding to the changing landscape by bringing on guests that have a voice, a strong voice, and they're aware of what's going on in the theatre and how it's changing for positive, and having like an opinion that I think people would listen to.
Yeah.
I guess I need to focus on my voice more and figure out my response to a lot of things, because my immediate response is just who I am, is to like shy away and just be like, oh, I don't want to say the wrong thing. So just, like, agree with you. And I think like I'm still developing that as I'm like bringing on guests and talking to them. But the theatre's changing like so dramatically in a lot of different positive ways as well. And yeah, it's a big hurdle to overcome for, you know, a lot of white audiences. And I think it would be good if a lot of the producers saw that, you know, big producers, I mean,
right.
And bring in these shows that are more diverse, or if you're going to bring back, you know, Grease, for example, make it different, please. For the love of God, make it different. Okay, because I mean, everyone loves Grease. I love Grease, of course I do, but make it different. For the love of God.
No, absolutely. I 100% agree with that, and I feel like that's why there is a stigma about theatre not being as successful, because a lot of the like bigger ones, they tend to target the wrong audience. And well, I know what theatre company I'm talking about. I'm sure we all can.
I mean, I get it. It's about $1 sign at the end of the day. And COVID has impacted that. And I totally understand that. So you need to bring back shows that will make your dollar value rise. And I totally get that, because that's the only way theatre survives. But in doing that, you can make it more audience attractive, I guess, and more diverse in who you want to bring to the theatre to raise that dollar value. And I think if a lot of producers focus on that, they'll actually see that dollar value rise exponentially further than what they anticipated.
That's right.
See, that's interesting too, because with like what Disney's doing at the moment, I know that there are a lot of mixed thoughts about how Disney. No. This is related to theatre. Sorry.
You mean with the movies?
No. Like I mean in general, people have whatever their thoughts are about Disney.
Oh, okay. So, are you gonna say something good?
No, yeah, I am.
No,
we're not going to get sued.
Actual thing.
We're not. Let me finish my train of thought, and then we can cut this all out if it's horrible. Okay. The thing that I was going to like. I know people have whatever their thoughts are about Disney. The one thing they do fucking perfect, like they not like without a hitch almost, is including ethnic people and people that are not a straight up and down regular dude. Like they do that very well.
Yeah.
They've got a movie on Disney Plus at the moment. They remade Peter Pan. I think it's called Peter and Wendy or something.
Yeah.
The first they made history because the first ever Down syndrome actor in a lead role has been cast in that.
Okay.
Also, they're doing Beauty and the Beast at Capitol Theatre or Lyric Theatre. Both the Beast and Belle are ethnic actors, which is like, and that's people don't grasp what that is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an Egyptian actor in this industry. And I see regularly, I go for auditions and stuff, and then the ads or whatever come up on TV. And I don't have any ill will about this, about the casting and stuff like that. It's just little things. But I'm like, they obviously sacrifice the opportunity to have any ethnic actor, not me, any ethnic actor, for this white dude that doesn't really fit the role.
Right, gotcha.
And you kind of go like, that's really interesting that I thought we kind of agreed on a whole. Australia was not blonde hair, blue eyes, beachy. Yeah, shuckers. Like, I thought we agreed that's not what it was. Because look at how many other people, like, there's 3 of us in the room, 2 out of 3, maybe Kyle, I'm not sure.
That's not
At
name.
Least us 3. Sorry.
That's not his name.
We'll cut that out. At least 2 out of 3 in this room are ethnic.
Yeah.
And you might be ethnic as well. But I'm just saying, like, the numbers speak for themselves, that not everyone is just kind of like a plain person. Everyone's
Yeah.
got something that makes them a bit different. Everyone's ethnic in some way. There is something out there that can speak for on a broader spectrum, getting people into roles that aren't like that maybe aren't supposed to be there. Because it's not Hamilton does it perfectly. America back then, told by American today,
just proved like we
right?
have the actors out there.
There were so many first. I don't know if this is the correct term. First Nations people. Is that how First Nations people? There were so many
Not to
First
be
Nations
confused
actors.
with the political party.
Oh,
No,
right,
holy
political
shit!
party.
We are a
One
very
nation.
yeah.
Let's just make that clear.
No, that's
Oh my
one nation.
goodness.
I'm saying First Nations.
Yes.
There are so many First Nations actors that were brilliant singers, brilliant dancers.
Brilliant.
There were like other ethnic actors that were brilliant singers and brilliant dancers. Anywhere you go in independent theatre today, again, I hate that term, but anywhere you go in independent theatre today in Australia, you will not find a shit actor.
Yeah.
I think I can speak for every production. There will be an actor that maybe doesn't deserve to be there because of nepotism or whatever the fuck else is going to be going on to get them there.
I wish I was a nepotism
But there's
baby.
like...
Nepo
yeah,
baby.
yeah, I know, yeah.
Win an Oscar.
Yeah. Thank you. And what did I get this for? Oh, right. But like, there's something to say that can be said for going out and seeing independent theatre and seeing actors that are incredible at what they do. They're not commercially known, but it's our job to make them commercially known. And also, they're ethnic actors. Can we fucking get them some role? There are so many of them, and they're so talented.
Yeah.
And it just feels like a misrepresentation of Australia at this point. Because
And it's so
like,
good as well when you keep going to a lot of that type of theatre.
Yeah.
And you see like the recurring roles. Like,
Yeah.
for instance, I'm a big fan of Emma Diaz at the moment. I've seen her
Oh,
in
okay.
multiple roles of Belvoir. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just like dying to see like the next thing that she's in.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
right.
I think it's nice seeing like recurring roles. Like I'll go to a show and go, oh, that you were in that one.
yeah. It's
And-
cool because
yeah.
you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's really nice. And then when they do land a big role, you'd feel so proud of them.
Yeah.
Even though they don't know you.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Well done.
You're right. Like, you don't know them, but it's like, you feel like you've been like not even like a silent investor, like a very
Yeah.
like loud investor kind of their career.
Yeah, definitely.
That happened with we were talking about them before, but Auntie Donna, when they got the Netflix show and their video started picking up steam, I was like, it was like my son had gotten into into a really good like a really good job or something that they really wanted or something that had been working really hard for. I was like, oh my god, good on them. Oh fuck, they've been working so hard. Man, I remember when they were making videos in the backyard and like, haven't you done and all that, like watching those videos.
Every
and
time
like
I talk about them with my brother, I go like the boys, because we all know.
yeah.
Boys.
And I'm talking, very luckily, I'm talking to Michelle Brazier.
Yeah,
sometime
right.
soon. And
Wow.
I discovered her through Auntie Donna,
Yeah.
and now
Wow.
I am the biggest fucking Michelle Brazier fan.
Yeah.
I love her.
She's
so
brilliant.
much.
Her
And
voice is incredible
she
too, man,
is.
and she's a great actor.
She deserves to be on Broadway with that. voice.
Right?
Like I went to see the musical comedy festival at Edinburgh last year. Auntie Donna were hosting it. She was in it.
Yeah.
And she just belts out this fucking song. And
She's
I'm
so
just like,
good.
I love you.
Yeah,
You're
right?
incredible. And I'm so proud of like everything she just keeps bringing out.
Yeah.
And I go and see all of it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you're just incredible.
Yeah. And it's this weird thing where you see her like she's so good, but then it's like it's not even that she falls off in other areas.
Yeah.
She's a brilliant singer. She's a great actress.
Yeah.
She's a brilliant comedic actress.
She's got great time.
And like even in the Coffee Cafe show, like everything she was doing, like I burst out laughing.
She's great.
Not that I was surprised at that. I was just like, fuck, man, let's get her more, make her commercially accessible so she
exactly.
can do more.
Yeah.
I am surprised she doesn't do more.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
She's one of those faces that like.
You would love to see more, but
Yeah,
you're like,
definitely.
why aren't you doing more, Michelle
And I think
Brazier?
like what I had to learn was I had to don't connect her to Auntie Donna.
Yeah.
So I was like, when I did my first review of her, I put in something like, it's clear to see why the Auntie Donna boys keep working with her.
Yeah.
But she doesn't need to be tied to them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
she stands on her own two legs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, she's a powerhouse. She was live when we saw her.
Yeah, she
there
came
too.
in live and did a thing
Yeah.
when we watched when we were
It
at
was
the
very
album
good.
tour.
Love it.
Again, fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Like,
You
yeah.
don't expect her to be as good live
Yeah.
as she is, but
She is,
just,
yeah.
I feel like her comedic timing is just perfect.
Yeah.
It's just-
And the story she has.
Mm.
Have you seen Average Bear?
No.
You got to watch it on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
And if she ever brings back, go and see it. It is one of the most powerful pieces of musical comedy.
Okay.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I was just like, yep, all right, I'm on board. Let's go.
We need to get onto Paramount.
What was it called again?
Average Bear.
Average Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to watch that. Okay, Average Bear.
Sign up to another streaming
Yeah,
service.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
If just to watch that. And
That's
then,
it.
get
Yeah.
your free week. And
Yeah, we'll do it for a free week, and
Yeah.
then go. We'll watch Fresh Builders and all these other things, and then
I just want to take it back to when we were saying like we're proud of performers to see how far they go. I guess it always comes down to this is why we do what we do, because we love getting people's names and stories and shows out there, and then seeing where they go from there.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I love telling people that past guests that I've had who have gone to do amazing things. I love telling people about that.
Yeah.
I love going like, so this is like it's your child, right?
Yeah.
You're looking at these photos, it's like, well, here and here and here.
Yeah.
So because our first ever episode was with Will McDonald, who is now in Heartbreak High.
And he was he had just finished his stint on Home and Away. Like, I
Right.
think his character had just left.
But we weren't allowed to announce it yet.
We weren't allowed to announce that
Right,
yet because they
okay.
were a bit behind in their scheduling.
Yeah.
Then there was a thing where he came back, and like they were planning this whole thing for him, but he had just kind of finished his stint. We were like, let's get him on. He's so cool.
It was purely coincidence because I had met him when he did a show at Belvoir. He did Drove His Wife.
Oh,
Which was
okay.
great.
Which
Which he
was
got nominated for the Helpman Award for? No?
I believe the show itself.
The show itself did.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
So,
right.
but it did do really
Still a
well.
stellar performance from
It was
him, though.
So good. It was an amazing show, and that's what got my attention from him. And then, as the industry goes, everyone knows everyone.
Yeah, you kind of
so
meet him. And
it literally, someone was like, "Oh, this is Will. Hi, come on
Yeah,
my
yeah.
podcast. Okay, here we go."
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Sure.
And-
Well, see you Friday.
Yeah.
And the rest is history, and he's a really, really top guy. And his performance in Heartbreak High was the best performance I've
great.
ever
Yeah.
seen. You just see the progression because. No, I'm not going to say I don't watch because I'll get in trouble. But just seeing how far his performance was from when I saw him in Drove His Wife, and I knew he was really good. And I knew he was going to get up to great stuff. And then seeing him now in Heartbreak High, and a show that tackles sexuality and gender diverse things.
Yeah.
I
Such
wouldn't
a
have.
good show.
All relevant
Amazing.
topics
Such a
that
good
are
show.
like that need more coverage now. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I will say I did audition and didn't get the role, so I was bitter for a very, very long time. And
How rude. This is my wife.
but then when I watched it, I was like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's okay. I can enjoy it this
Yeah.
way. But I think it's just a beautiful cast. It's one of those things that they just work so well together, and it's amazing. And then seeing with I blanked on every single person
In the cast?
in that we've ever had. Anyways,
Oh.
moving on. So Justin,
Yes.
it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
I've loved having you on. I look forward to everything your podcast has in offer, and everyone at home needs to stay tuned for what else we're cooking up.
Yes.
Who knows? So head over to Theatre Thoughts podcast, and you can listen to our episode as well.
Yes. This will be very exciting. Good little collab.
That's
Yeah.
right. So this will not be the end of Justin. You'll see him many, many more times here on Tragic Thespians. Thank you.
No, thank you so much. Really loved it.
Okay. Thanks, man.
I don't know.